Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Yeah, one go here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona. How about some truth, justice, and what used to be the American way, where the heck that was. You know, let's go ahead and try for that truth and justice. Let's do that. And, we'll sprinkle some freedom in there, because that's what you got to have. You got to have it. Now, people are fighting for it in Egypt right now. They're on the line. They put their lives on the line. I mean, we may, have some great quotes from early patriot Americans. They say, hey, man, we hang together, or we were sure as heck hang separately. Well, they knew exactly firsthand what that meant as they're sitting in, how do I say it? Is it Tahrir? Is that how you say the...
Tahrir.
Tahrir?
Yes, exactly.
Tahrir Square, they're sitting there going, hey, man, if I leave, if this doesn't succeed, I'd be dead. So, I mean, they were motivated individuals. So they get what they wanted. Mubarak's gone. Say, hey, Mubarak's gone. We got this figurehead. This guy with this fingerprint, this guy's gone now. It's all good. You everybody go home now. Oh, in 6 months we'll have an election, and pinky swear you'll get what you want or something or whatever. So I'm going, okay, who gets to decide what gets voted on? Because I'm telling you, Lisa, we're talking to Lisa Hajjar. She's a professor of sociology department at the University of California, Santa Barbara, and has a lot of writing and something to say about what's going on in Egypt. Now, what I'm asking is, I'm going, look, there is going to be a transition from what is now to whatever is going to be later. And whatever is going to be later, I am of the opinion that for hundreds of years, in just some kind of a self-governing mechanism, whatever it's been, through kings, outside of influence, through the French, the Ottoman Empire, the British, the French, the United States. It goes on and on and on and on and on. The common theme has always been that, the people are not in control. Somebody or something else always is. Your opinion and what's going to happen by 6 months from now are the people are going to be able to assert their sovereignty as individuals, and whatever government is there to defend their individual rights or not. Your opinion.
Well, I think, let me just put... For one thing, I would say that, trying to understand a country by assuming like hundreds of years of continuity is not always the most accurate way. But there have certainly been long periods most periods perhaps, of no representation. But let's focus on what's happening now. And I just checked to see that in the last hour, the Army Supreme Council issued communique number 5, urging workers to stop striking and go back to work.
Of course they did.
Yeah, which is indicative of the fact, and, for better and worse, the military is, primarily concerned with, sort of restoring stability, maintaining, I think, the sense that Egyptians accomplished something, but most particularly, the top generals are very committed to Egypt's capitalist development and the strengthening of the economy. So in that regard, those are the issues that they're looking to, is to stabilize the country and to actually do something for the economy, hopefully, that is different than the kind of kleptocratic exploitation.
Free the people. You want to stop the kleptocracy. You want to stop all this stuff. Free the people. You don't got to get a license. You don't got to regulation. You don't got to get permission from the government. You don't have to worry about being hauled off to some, secret jail to be tortured if blah, 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 blah. As long as you are not bothering another human being and you're interacting in a free market that's capitalism. I don't know what the heck, their term of capitalist is, capital that we control, that's not freedom. So if their primary goal is to keep on keeping on and the slaves get back to the mill, I'm going, seriously? You think that's what they wanted? They want to be left alone. There are those that just want to be left alone, and there are those that will not leave them alone. You
really can't, project an American libertarian ideology.
I'll guarantee you, every 14-year-old that you go to, and I put my hand on their shoulder and I say, whose life is this? They're going to say, by the vast majority, are going to say, it's mine. Or they're not. If it's not their life, then whose is it?
Okay, well, in a country like Egypt, I mean, particularly are strong trade unions across the country. They've been very active.
That they've given their life over to?
The question now is whether or not and how the trade unions, the Muslim Brothers, the student unions, the women's groups, et cetera, are going to be participating in the formulation of a post-Mubarak transformation. Now, the Constitution itself has been, tossed. And so now, law professors and lawyers across the country and judges, which have been very powerful, and in some ways, especially the judges, have been performed a very honorable role over the years of authoritarianism, are insistent that they will be at the table.
Of course they will.
Deciding on how the new Constitution will look. And so this is something I think that nonviolent demonstrations, on Friday and perhaps in the future, are going to be keeping the pressure on to ensure that the broad-based, constituencies that made up the revolution will all be able to be represented as Egypt really moves into a new uncharted terrain of a hopefully post-authoritarian era.
This is my view, Lisa. This whole thing, Cairo represents the hub of the Arabic community, the entire Middle East. That's what the pop culture is. Movies come out of there. People vacation there. It's kind of a leadership role. It's more secular than a lot of other places. I see, because people keep thinking in terms of the past. I mean, that's a good way to judge the future by the past, but I'm telling you, this is a youth. I looked at Egypt's median age is 24. 24. There's over a third of the people are under 14. I'm going, oh my goodness. You're trying to instill in them, some other, it's going to be this group of organizations going to determine your future and your government. This group, this union, this brotherhood, this, blah, blah. I'm going, did you ever think that of the millions of people in the street, that every single one of those individuals go, you know what? I got a voice and they don't represent it. Did that ever cross your mind?
But there is, Egypt has in fact, perhaps more so than the United States, Egypt has a very well-developed, civil society organizations that, have been able to mobilize sectors of the population. So when they talk about the youth, it's not, Suleiman, for example, has tried to infantilize protesters by implying that they're like kids who should go home. But youth groups have been extremely sophisticated, and we are learning now that youth groups with their pro-democracy demands were actually collaborating with youth groups in Tunisia for months prior even to the Tunisian revolution. So you see a high level of sophistication among young people. Egypt does have a relatively high education rate, and that's been one of the, frustrations, is that a lot of people are educated and, potentially organized, and their aspirations have been frustrated, which is different perhaps than other countries. So in other words, they know what the good life might look like, or at least a better life than spending 80% of
their kleptocracy system has taken it away from them. They have 115% increase in wheat. They have 88% increase in corn. And when you're living on a couple of dollars a day, guess what? Man, you go hungry, bow. And I'm telling you, let me say this, Lisa, so that we can look back 6 months from now. We can have you on when this happens, and we can see, where this went, and maybe we can understand why. Because I need your understanding. I need to understand the culture. But this is the operation by what I operate from, a basic understanding of a simple thing. Individuals that are willing to die to be left alone I guarantee you, are not there advocating for another shiny badge to be in charge of them.
No, that's
guarantee
true. That's true. But again, it's like you can't read Egyptian political culture through an American libertarian lens. It's true. People don't want. People want an end to emergency law and military rule. What they also want an end to, many people, is multinational neoliberalism. The kind of, the thing that has caused vast increases in debt and impoverishment around the world, the kind of Washington consensus, the IMF and the World Bank. That's what people don't want, and that's what has triggered so much of the instability across the region, and frankly will trigger instability in other parts of the world, where multinational corporations come in and simply exploit until they can't exploit anymore people for, profits that move back to other countries.
I want everybody in the audience to just pay attention that we've done a lot of stuff on Egypt. And I want to thank Lisa Hajjar for coming on from the University of California, Santa Barbara, and helping us with this. But, I tell you what's going to tell the tale. Time is going to pass. And there will be all kinds of reasons, all kinds of excuses of why something happened. Yeah, but if it wasn't for this and that and this special thing and, climate change or whatever the heck they're going to use an excuse. And I'll guarantee you it comes down to this. Individuals are going to advocate for them to make their own decisions about their life, their economy, their business, their education, their abilities to be able to compete, or somebody else is going to do it and see how they allow it. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.